Welcome to Ariana's book summary series. I'm Ariana. Every day I'll share the key ideas I learned from a book here with you. Subscribe to my channel now if you don't want to miss it. The book for today is Steve Jobs by Walter Isaacson. It is the most thorough and accurate book about Steve Jobs' life and the only one that is authorized because Walter Isaacson, the former CNN CEO and managing editor of Time magazine, wrote it with Steve's approval. In the 2 years prior to Steve Jobs' passing, Isaacson spoke with him more than 40 times. Here are 3 interesting stuffs I discovered from the summary that you probably won't find elsewhere. Lesson 1. Steve Jobs' team gave the Reality Distortion Field its name. It wasn't Steve Jobs' obsession for detail, sense of design, or eye for simplicity that enabled him to create this huge vision for Apple out of nothing. It was his Reality Distortion Field, or RDF in short. Bud Tribble, a member of Steve Jobs' Macintosh team, first used the term, which he adapted from Star Trek. It became common to discuss Steve's RDF, which meant once Steve made a decision, he would manipulate reality to make it happen. This included everyone nearby. His RDF is how he could persuade a team of exhausted engineers to work an additional 10 hours on Macintosh fonts because it would be the best computer ever. He also used it to make sure that everyone who left an official Apple keynote believed the product they had just seen was the best in its field. Steve was able to create what is now the most valuable technology company in the world by using charisma, hyperbole, marketing, and persistence to make seemingly impossible feats possible for himself and his audience. Lesson 2. The name Apple was selected for a very specific reason. Anyone who learns about Apple and its products immediately wonders how the company came by its name. After all, they are not selling smoothie makers. There are obviously many explanations for the name, one of which is that Steve frequently experimented with fruitarian diets and, because he loved apples, had been on an apple farm the day the name had to be decided for official filing to the government. Another factor is that Steve felt the apple was a great symbol for the Leonardo da Vinci quote, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication," which was the slogan for Apple's first brochure. The main motivation behind Apple's name, however, is purely commercial and has nothing to do with personal taste or symbolism. Apple is listed before Atari in the phone book. Steve had previously worked at Atari, so he didn't want people looking for a computer company to look at his rival first. Lesson 3. Pixar's IPO, not Apple, is how Steve Jobs became a billionaire. Have you ever wondered how Steve Jobs became a billionaire? Everyone thinks that Apple is where he got all of his money, but a different project actually caused his bank account to increase the most. Steve put his full effort into 2 endeavors, Next and Pixar, after leaving Apple in 1985. For just the Next logo, Steve paid a flat fee of $100,000. Along with numerous delays and other expensive production standard requirements, this turned Next into a money-losing black hole. In the Pixar case, Steve purchased a 880% share of the company from George Lucas for $5 million in 1986, and invested another $5 million right into the company. Steve's Pixar expenses reached a total of $50 million by 1995. Prior to a 1995 agreement to produce and distribute Toy Story with Disney, he frequently thought about selling it. With over $350 million in revenue, the film became the biggest hit of the entire year. Naturally, this gave the company a very upbeat outlook. And on November 29 of that same year, it held its initial public offering. At a share price of $22, the company's stock gave Steve a 20 times return on his initial investment, turning him into an overnight billionaire. Let me give a short summary. This book is probably the most thorough and accurate biography of the man who founded Apple, the most valuable technology company in the world. Even though it's a lengthy read, I can highly recommend the book because there are so many interesting details and lessons to be learned from this man's life. Like the Apple II was back in the day, This book is an all-in-one solution if you're interested in starting a business that lasts a decade or even a century, making products that are almost addictive, and becoming an awesome CEO. That's it for today. Remember to like, comment, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.